Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? I want y'all to hear the intro. We got an intro before the intro, right? I want y'all to hear. The guy before us is Don Amici, and he always puts on a show. This is what it sounds like.
I think that comes from childhood of being mean or a defense mechanism that we've carried into adulthood. Because why would you laugh at somebody who fell?
Has he started?
I was walking on walking on my phone and I hit my head on a ladder that was sticking out of somebody's back of their truck, and I was like, ah!
Y'all see Andy? Say what's up to Andy.
They would have laughed at me, and I'm like, why are you laughing at my pain?
My brother.
All right, the voice of reason coming up next. Hot topic alert. Uh-oh. Is your relationship with yourself as toxic as the people you date or married to? A deeper look at self-maltreatment. Can you have a toxic relationship with yourself? This is wow. If so, how does this toxicity express itself when you within your intimate relationships? When was the last time you asked yourself, what am I refusing to acknowledge about myself? This is a big question.
Excellent.
A lot of people do not want to take a look in the mirror because it's very hard to look at and take assessment of what you're dealing with or what you're not dealing with. I think is a bigger question. Do you treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you? I have a hard time treating myself good. I don't know why. I think it goes back to me being in foster care and not feeling worthy. So it's just like, it is. And have you mastered giving yourself what you demand of your significant other? If so, why demand anything? So
He's very deep. I love his topics.
so deep. All right, we Don Amici versus everybody with Kristen and Jeremy.
It's about to go down. He gives me an intro every day. It's about to go all the way down. So they come out, then we go in. Can everybody hit the like button? Can everybody get the like button cracking? Can everybody hit it right now? Because we're about to go in here and act a fool. There's the door. Legendary.
The deepness.
What's up, bro? Nice to meet you, fam. All right. Zoe. Yes. Nice to meet you, Jeremy. Yeah. Well, it is hot in here. It is hot in here. It is hot and it is musty. Is there like some bathroom spray in there? The men's. I think there's a spray in there. Kick this mouth out. Kick this mouth out. In the name of Jesus, I rebuke mouth residue. I rebuke it. You gotta spray. Yeah, there you go. Yes, in the name of Jesus.
The only thing better than being able to hear us is being able to hear us and see us live. Lights, camera, action. KBLA Talk 1580 starts live streaming daily, Monday, October 31st. See you soon.
Okay, that's a wrap.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, cause I
Can you
need
grab
to
those headphones
know.
over there for
Show me
yourself?
which way to go,
And then you'll be able to set yourself up.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha.
Keisha.
Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she's driving me
you up over there.
Okay, doesn't matter.
I got you.
Thank you, Dr. Man. Thank you.
I look like cleaning up my side.
Petty.
What the fuck? Is that true?
For the many time I've heard people complaining over the fact that they've dated somebody really toxic. What they miss to realize is that it takes two people to end. Your mic is hot whenever you're ready. If you happen to find out that the person is toxic, but you decided to stay, what is that saying exactly about you? It also means that you are toxic yourself. But at the same time, no toxic person would feel comfortable calling themselves toxic. The one thing about being toxic is that even if sometimes you'll find people bragging about how toxic they are, nobody really knows how toxic they really are. They don't really know how this is affecting their lives and how this is affecting them as a whole. The one thing we have to remember about anybody who's a toxic person, they'll always be struggling mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically. Despite the fact they don't wear it on the outside, they will always be dealing with those situations. Let's talk about the relationship that you're in right now. Are you mentally safe, emotionally safe, or physically safe to be in that relationship? Do you think that the relationship that you're in, is it toxic? Is it medium toxic, hard toxic, or small toxic? You see, that was a tricky question because toxic is toxic no matter what the level of toxin is. And for you to be able to accept a certain level of toxic from somebody else, that also means that you're toxic yourself. Better yet, let's talk about your last relationship. Was your last relationship toxic? When you got out of that relationship, what did you do before getting yourself into this new relationship? As I always talk about, did you give yourself time to heal? Did you find ways to understand what the problem was from your last relationship? Did you fix things with yourself before getting yourself in this new relationship? Or are you finding yourself being in more toxic relationships every day? It's like every time you happen to date somebody, they are always toxic. Why?
Yo, we had to frame it up right. The voice of reason is in the building. And I got another topic, another heater. This is very important to me. This show is important to me. The messaging around this show is important to me. Number one, Zoe's not perfect. We lead with that. We lead with that. Zoe cannot be an expert of your experience. Zoe can only be an expert of his own experience. Yet, I am the curator of these conversations that lead us into a deeper self-reflection. Right? The thing that bothers me about all the dating coaches and listen, you can find 5 million videos of people talking about let them go, leave them, they're toxic, get away from them, get away from the negative people in your life, cut them off. They need to be separated from you. Listen, as the brother outlined in the video or the audio that you just heard, there's something toxic in you that resonates, that relates, that connects with toxic people. I'm tired of this blame culture. They did something to me. They did me wrong. Oh, the only bad thing I did was make a bad choice. No, something's up with your spirit. Okay? Something's up with your spirit. And there are not enough people talking about the spiritual aspect of relating. Why did you attract that person? What in your spirit is kin to the disturbance you claim they brought to you? It's just real. It's claim over blame. Is your relationship with yourself as toxic as the people you date or are married to? Questions. Can you have a toxic relationship with yourself? If so, how does this toxicity express itself within your intimate relationships? I want to read off the other 200 questions I got, but I'm not going to do it. I want you to sit with that question. Can you have a toxic relationship with yourself? Are you in a toxic relationship with yourself? If so, how does this toxicity express itself within your intimate relationships? Can you answer that question without blaming, without bringing somebody else in? When we come forward, the voice of reason is going to open up the phone lines, because this is a discussion that you're all invited to.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear.
Let's go.
Listen to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's go. Let's hit the likes. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get the shares.
And I'm asking for your
Yes,
vote for mayor
please.
of Inglewood. I'm an activist, community
Heck
organizer,
yeah.
and people's lawyer. I've
120
dedicated my life to
episodes,
advocating on behalf of our
including
community,
this one.
and I will continue this work as mayor. When you get your ballot in the mail, vote for me and immediately mail it back in. If you don't get to vote early, then vote for me on November
Come on,
8th.
y'all.
Remember the name.
Come on, y'all.
Patricia Shea Dixon for
Come on.
mayor of Inglewood. Thank you.
Hit that
for your
like
vote.
button. Let's go.
This ad is paid for by Patricia Dixon for Inglewood Mayor.
Want your MBA?
What's good? What's good?
Institute of Advanced Management is the price.
Bruce Perry,
Nonprofit
True
institution
Monger's in the
offer
building.
dedicated
In
faculty and
Zinga
strong
is in the
sizes,
building.
committed to
April
high
Love.
impact learning that affects social
I'm like
change
31,
and
y'all.
make it
Happy
easy.
hump
No
day.
GRE
What up? What up? What up? What up?
program of
I
weekend
see
and
y'all
online
in here.
classes
Metcalf
and now for
Hottie,
spring 2023
Joseph
classes with
Arrington.
financial aid and scholarships
Oh,
available.
don't
Visit
start already.
CBA.edu
Let's
to
go.
learn. The California
Lloyd
Institute of Advanced
Hinton
Management
in the building.
management
Nazarene
provides
X. Phil Brand, Irie. I see y'all, man. We in here. Don Philly, 215. What up, cousins? Where the cousins at? And Zinga's my cousin. I see my cousin in Zinga. Cousin Charles Walker. The reality of it is my mama is a walker. My granddaddy is a walker. My grandmama is a walker. Charles. 120 counting this one. Yeah. And I think it's a couple more because a few of them were missed. Here we go.
Live in a minute.
Beer is one of the top-selling lagers on the continent of Africa. Join Star Beer at the Taste of Soul.
Of course.
October 15th at the KBLA 1580 Wine and Beer
Georgia,
Lounge. Star Beer is brewed
Tennessee.
with the highest quality of natural
Come on, man.
ingredients. Visit starbeer.com again. That's starbeer.com.
Big Mama and them
Taste
from
of Soul
Warren,
in Los Angeles'
Georgia.
largest street festival. KBLA 1580 Wine
Might
and
be
Beer
cousins
Lounge
for
has
real.
excitement building throughout Los Angeles. Visit the Wine and Beer Lounge. Try Star Beer. A special cold
Will my
filter
reading reflect? I don't know. You tell me.
optimal cold refreshment. Once you have tasted it, you will be hooked. Starbeer.com. That's starbeer.com. Find out where you can pick up the drink for
Probably.
you and your friends to enjoy.
You know I'm off tomorrow, y'all.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. I think you'll find, sir, that there will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves. Then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. It is the only thing that will bring an end to it. No federal court, state court, or city court will bring an end to it. It's something that the black man has to bring an end to himself.
Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. You already know that my co-host is my playlist. That's a great record right there. Y'all don't know about it just yet. But that track is called Black on Purpose, featuring legendary, the prince of all of us, Malcolm X. And it's produced by Salam Remy. Now, Salam Remy is a hip-hop producer who also does jazz and all types of other music. And this is a new album that he put out. But that particular track is called Black on Purpose, featuring Malcolm X. Salam Remy. All right, let's get to the topic. Again, 1-800-920-1580. This is a caller-driven show. We want to hear from you. This is a conversation. Zoe is not an expert here. We are doing this together, or we're not doing it at all. So I have to ask these questions. Is your relationship, what is the state of your relationship with yourself? If you could give yourself from 1 to 10, 10 being fantastic, 1 being horrible, right? Where would you rank the quality of your relationship with yourself, right? Do you treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you? Do you give to yourself everything that you ask of others? And if you do give all this stuff to yourself, whatever it is, whatever it may be, attention, approval, acceptance, acknowledgement, love, empathy, if you're giving yourself all of that, do you still need to ask from others? I'm just asking the question. I am posing the question. I want you guys to think deeply about it. Have you mastered giving yourself what you demand of your significant other? If so, why demand anything from them? 1-800-920-1580. How do you stop someone from treating you badly? Can you stop someone from treating you badly? Sure you can. Physically, right? You can physically leave, or you can physically attempt to try to make them change, right? But the reality of it is, you change them by changing yourself. If you start to treat yourself bad, I don't know. I don't know. I want to say it. I want to say it, but I don't want to say it definitively. I don't want to say it absolutely. I want your help in helping me navigate this understanding. Is that a true or false? If you treat yourself better, if you love on yourself, if you are self-attentive, if you employ self-empathy, will the people outside of you do the same for you? It's a real simple question, but it's nuanced. I want to know, right? I want to understand the quality of your relationship, because I firmly believe relationship is a mirror. Relationship is a highly reflective mirror where the biofeedback you get from your partner is your personal curriculum. I believe that is the spiritual purpose of why we relate. Is growing up inwardly, listen, the easiest way to leave a toxic relationship? Maybe y'all didn't hear that. Is growing up inwardly, is spiritually maturing the easiest way to leave a toxic relationship? Sure, there are other ways. You could just leave. You can ghost. Ghosting is probably the easiest, right? But I'm talking about leaving it and not carrying it with you. See, you can ghost somebody without doing any self-work, and you can never talk to that person again, never speak to that person again, but you still carry that with you. Oh, yeah, that's how spirit works. So I come back to the question, is growing up inwardly the easiest way to leave a relationship? Many people leave relationships physically, but not psychologically, not spiritually. There's so much residue. What do they call that stuff inside? I don't smoke weed. So weed people help me. It's stuff inside the pipe. What is that called? Resin. It's so much resin. Spiritual resin. You done ghosted somebody, but the resin is all over you. Right? How do you reconcile with someone else if you have yet to reconcile with self? I'm really trying to understand. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines right now. Call me right now. I want to talk to you right now. I want to check in on the state of your relationship with yourself. Do you have a toxic relationship with self? Paulo Coelho put this on Twitter. He said, how people treat you is a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves. Agree or disagree? True or false? Is it a direct reflection of how they treat themselves? Is that just a unidirectional thing? Nature isn't unidirectional. There is a corresponding movement for everything in nature. Most people do not understand that feng shui means feng shui, air and water. Did you know air and water have the same kind of currents? But because we don't look at air as having currents like water, we think they're two totally different elements. Feng shui, the movement, the flowing of things, that's air and water. A lot of people don't understand that. Feng shui. You saw it personified in a cartoon called The Last Airbender, when the character that is the last airbender is of the air element, and his biggest advocate, who later turns out to be his woman, is of the water tribe. They wrote that into the cartoon. One of the deepest Nickelodeon. I made my kids watch every season, 3 seasons. Again, feng shui, right? There is a corresponding element to everything in nature. So is Paulo Coelho correct when he says how people treat you is a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves? Do you think? I think it goes both ways. What if you have a person who is treating you good because they're fearful of losing you? What if you have a person that is treating you good because at the end of the day, they're in search of a payout, right? Some kind of payoff. I'm doing this because I believe in them and the potential, and it's going to show up. Well, watch, it's going to pay off at the end. I'm going to get what I want. So add nuance to Paulo Coelho's Twitter here. He says, his tweet, he says, how people treat you is a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves. I say it goes both ways. Sometimes you get the person that treats you wrong because of the toxic relationship you're currently in with yourself. And many of you are cheating on yourself with your external partner. You're using your external partner to do all the things necessary to avoid the internal work. So as long as the stimulation is on high, as long as the activities are popping, as long as you're going on vacation, you're going to the islands, you're going to concerts, you're dancing, you're eating, as long as you're doing all of that, you don't have time to focus on probably the most important relationship you could ever be in. Now, I know people don't want to hear this. The universe, reality, is holographic. If you're cheating on any aspect of your being, you become a beacon for cheaters. Oh, I know. People say, why do people cheat? Oh, he just selfish. He just greedy. Well, why did it happen to you? Huh? The human being is somewhat of an antenna, a spiritual antenna. Who's picking up your signal? Nobody asked the question, why are they in my life? Listen very carefully. People don't treat others. They treat themselves. They invest in you if they expect to be rewarded. No rewards, no investments. The reason you treat yourself negatively is because you believe you are worthless. That belief is advertised through your decisions and consequent behavior. Advertised, that was the term. When others read the advertisements claiming your total lack of value, people know there will be no rewards and will behave nasty in defense of their own resources. They don't want to be used without compensation. This is where transactionalism comes in. Oh, I know this is a tough topic, and a lot of people love this show, but y'all call in droves when we having fun talking about astrology. But when I want to get deep, y'all get quiet. I want to talk about the state of your relationship with yourself. It was Carl Jung who first said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves. Everyone is a mirror. Our own reflection in others shows us not only who we are, but also how to be better. Now, the question is, do you want to be better? Or do you want someone to do it for you? Do you want somebody to show up and give you all of the things that you have the internal resources to give yourself? The real question is, are you spiritually lazy? That's now, I know. Y'all want to be fancy and say little words and terms like, oh yeah, we we existed before and we chose this experience and we chose our parents and we signed a contract and we have spiritual amnesia. But when it comes down to actually doing the work, not talking about it, but doing the work. When was the last time you sat with yourself without critiquing yourself? When is the last time you loved on you? When was the last time you praised you? When was the last time you were self-attentive? When was the last time you were able to look at yourself without judgment, without squirming, without trying to get away, without trying to intellectualize? Oh, I'm this way because, and had my daddy been around and had this. When was the last time you just enjoyed you as you are? When was the last time? Okay, do something simple. When was the last time you took yourself out to eat? 1-800-920-1580. I see the phone lines are starting to pop. This is a real discussion. And I want to get down to the nitty gritty. Who are you? Well, you're going to have to answer the question. Who are you? Because if you're not doing this work and you don't know who you are when you walk into that relationship, trust me, tragedy is on the way. When we come forward, the voice of reason will go to the phone lines. Hey, let's get this conversation cooking.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on
I love it.
Talk 1580.
You had a break between February 16th and March 15th.
That's what I'm saying. They some shows are missing.
Officers involved in the fatal shooting of Jalen Walker are returning to duty. The officers have been
Some shows are missing.
and are returning in administrative roles. Akron Police Chief
Yo,
cited staff
where y'all at?
as the reason Walker, who was black, was shot 46 times following the foot chase. Fallout over Andy
What up,
Smith
what up, what
comments
up?
made by Kanye West continues. Producers of the shop say the episode filmed on Monday.
And Zinga said this morning, I love
The
it.
show says Ye's appearance had been booked weeks ago. They had discussions with him the day before and believed he was capable of respectfful discussion.
You can't
about his
run
recent
from
comments.
yourself.
After filming the episode, however,
You will-
executive producer Maverick
You
Carter
will
said
catch yourself at
Kanye
some
used the
point.
shop to reiterate
Grand
Black
evening,
hate
Zoe, in
speech
the chat.
and extremely
I can
dangerous
admit this
stereotypes.
title is
That's
true
the
for me.
latest.
I
I'm
am
Kevin Brown
also
from the Black Information
57
Network,
years old,
BIN
and
News
it
Network.
often takes a journey to do mirror therapy to admitting truths about oneself, one's own universe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. They took what off? What did they take it off? What did they take off? What happened to the show the other day? Oh, you do know me playing the show and all the music that plays, sometimes we get hit with copyrights. So some of those shows get blocked on YouTube. But all of the shows should go up on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play. Oh, and by the way, we only got 2 bottles of He Is Risen left. And then we're done. Until the new batch comes.
Okay, that's a wrap. When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP accident attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm could be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out.
And then the homie, Sean, is the first one to call, man.
Call the pros at MVP
Sean.
accident attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
LA breakdown. Are you head strong but dead wrong?
And no, man, but the shit is like, Sean is cool than a motherfucker. I don't know Sean. Like, I don't know many of y'all. But y'all brothers and sisters. And Sean don't give a fuck about that. He show up, say, this shit got quality. I'm calling every day. I don't give a fuck.
We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways.
My people be sitting back like, I don't want to look bad. I don't want to get clowned. Nobody's going to clown you. That's part of the show.
Community share Facebook group page or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the
yes, let's get some new. No, Sean is married, dog. Don't disrespect him. He's married, and even if this is one of his great escapes, he shows up. He shows up.
Hello? Hey, did you see the concert Erica posted?
I love it.
Got my mask and a negative COVID test result. You going? Girl, you already know. But guess who's not going? Don't tell me. Coco.
I'm just saying, like, man, that shit crazy.
She didn't get vaccinated, and now it's hitting her hard. Too bad. I hope she gets vaccinated now. I'm glad we got boosted. Me too.
Don't let the fun slip through your fingers. Mask up, stay home, and test if you feel sick. Get
I respect it. I mean, at the end of it, I just go, fuck it, man. All right, shit. I respect it.
KBLA Talk 1580 welcomes the Taste of Soul to Los Angeles. Saturday, October 15th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. A day of great food, music, and family. You're invited to join KBLA and Mothers in Action in the KBLA Longevity Wine and Star Beer USA Lounge. Presented by Gardena Nissan on Crenshaw and 30th.
Never on a Tuesday. What do you mean?
Courtney Mims and the Know-It-All Band with DJ T. The party starts at 10 a.m. and goes until 7 p.m. Come meet the KBLA on-air talent as we celebrate our listeners. Saturday, October 15th, visit the Longevity Wine and Star Beer USA Lounge. Presented by Gardena Nissan. Proceeds from the beverage sales will benefit Mothers in Action, a nonprofit 501c3 organization.
Do I have to type?
The mission to improve the quality
Because
of
I
life
be,
for underserved children and families in
a lot of y'all in the
communities.
chat
Don't miss
have
the
never
party.
called. It's
Saturday,
true.
October 15th, inside the Longevity Wine and Star Beer USA Lounge. Presented by Gardena Nissan at the Taste of
Davey
Soul
D,
on
I'm just not all the way in my right mind. I might get
This has been a
emotional.
KBLA Talk
Fucking
1580
what?
Community Call to Action.
This is a perfect example.
Geico presents Daily 11:30s. Repeat
You did.
We are filled with an abundance of joy. We are filled with an abundance
How many times you think Sean called?
of questions. Good thing Geico has 24/7
Once Sean got whiff of this show, how many times you think he's called? I want you to think about
Good thing
that.
Geico has 24/7 claim service. We are also filled with an abundance of
How many
biscuits.
times do
We
you
are
think
also
Sean
filled
has
with,
called? Guess.
Works this way. And jam. Don't forget jam.
To manifest more Geico in your life, go to Geico.com.
Hey, let me know what y'all think of the playlist. It's a vibe.
Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Man, what a vibe. I have a whole intro done to this record. Amazing record called Imani by I Am Nobody. And he spells his name in a unique way. It's all one word, I Am Nobody, and he spells body with an I. Great record from 2014, I Am Nobody, Faith, or it's called Imani. And I wanted to get us into this vibe tonight, man. It's a vibe, man. This is about going inside. We got to get comfortable with who we are on the inside. We spend a lot of time creating a mask. We spend a lot of time creating a persona. We spend a lot of... There's so many people running around here talking about they're confident. But really what they are confidence men. Back in the day, a confidence man was a hustler, a street hustler, right? It was a con artist. A confidence man was a con artist. And many of us, our confidence is rooted in how we con ourselves. We're okay. Ain't nothing wrong with me. That's their problem. They're the issue. They're the common denominator. I ask this question all the time. How did they get into your sphere of influence? If ain't nothing wrong with you, how do you attract the same types of persons? And let's not act like we haven't done that, right? We've attracted variants of the same person. COVID-19, 20, 21, 22, 24. We had COVID 56. There's still COVID underneath. Why does that happen? Do you understand? Sean from Oakland, get in here, brother.
Hey, brother. So, another amazing show, Zoda, because you make me think. And I can tell you, I'm 55. I want to always give context. And I am very imperfect. I've made every mistake on the planet. Been married 30 years, together 35 and all that. But what you just said was something that there's two things that came to my mind as awareness. Number one, awareness. Are you awareness of your level of toxicity? Because I am not free from toxicity, okay? But I am aware that I am not free of toxicity. So that means I'm always trying to the best of my ability. And every morning I use that time to meditate and think about things when everyone else is asleep. I try to get my sleep and do the best I can. I'm not better than anybody else and all that. But the biggest weakness if I'm going to criticize, not blame, but if I'm going to criticize human beings, is that the biggest weakness, and maybe it's human nature, but it's a bad instinct, is to blame. Right? I truly, and I learned that way late in life. I wasn't one of those that blame people all the time, but I did it enough in my past to understand how unproductive that is. Right? Because I need to work on myself, as you're talking about, to become better. I don't need to blame anybody else, no matter the situation. I'll even take the blame sometimes when I had very little to do with anything in the situation, just because I would rather not have that toxic conversation with people that's so unproductive.
Right.
But no, I'm always looking at my level of toxicity. I always have something there that isn't going to jive with somebody. But I'm always trying to be thoughtful of it. And that way, I know I can never make everyone happy because of what I do, and no one's going to make me happy, whatever they do. But it's a constant work in progress. Your wit that kind of can get us all together in relationships, because it's not just your significant other you want to spend the rest of your life with and raise children with. It's all the other people around you. That's why relationships, as you have pointed out so eloquently, are so doggone important.
Yes. Thank you, Sean. Once again, Sean opens up the show with the phone calls. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580 if you want to bring your city in the building. As Sean just brought Oakland into the building, all you got to do is call me and join the discussion. The reason why I go so hard on relationships in our community is really simple. We all want some type of unity, right? If the black man, that's why I played the Malcolm X piece earlier at the beginning, at the top of the hour. Yeah, the black man come together, black woman come together. We're not going to come together if we don't recontextualize our understanding of the purpose of relationships. Relationships are not just about your insulated and isolated experience with your significant other. It's not. It's about us all, because we fragmented, disaggregate. We're always, and then when it's time for something to happen where you need all of us to come together, there's divergent opinion. And I'm not saying we should become monolithic. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we don't even come together to have the discussion until it's voting time. I'm saying relationships, the quality of our relationships determine the quality of our community. If the relationships are out of whack, there will not be partnerships. There will not be understanding across communities. So this is why relationship is such an important piece. We got to do the internal work by ourselves. We're a work in progress. That's number one. Number two, we got to build stronger families. Right? Number three, we got to start building stronger communities. But we can't do that until we look at the relationship with ourself. What did you pick up from your absentee father? Because if your father was absent, you think, oh, okay. You think he didn't do nothing for me. Do you know LeBron James' absentee father put the battery in LeBron James's back? By virtue of his absence, his void, the void created the fuel for LeBron to never look back. And I know nobody would really look at it that way. I am, though. Does that mean LeBron wouldn't trade everything? Would he? I don't know. Would he trade everything he has in order to start it all over again and say, Dad is here? Nothing in the universe is wasted. The man's absence turned into rocket fuel for LeBron's success, not only as a ball player, but as a dad. LeBron became the dad he wished he had. All because of the absence of his father. Now, we can beat his father up, but would LeBron change something? Uh-oh. When we come forward, Zoe's going to get on the phone. The phone lines is cracking. I see it. Listen, call me. This is a real conversation. What is the quality of the relationship you have with yourself?
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Imagine a world without heart disease and stroke, where every person has the opportunity to.
And Zinga said, okay, now you spitting.
Join the American Heart Association's Los Angeles Heart and Stroke Walk.
Come on, Nzinga. Nzinga said, okay, I see what's up. Now it's popping. Hey, we on Lock Nation, man. That $20. Thank you, brother. That $20 means a lot to me, brother. Thank you. That $20 means a lot. We appreciate it. This channel needs every nickel. And I appreciate y'all being able to break off twos and fews. Ghetto Gourmet. My brother, y'all know who that is. That's Heru Ali. Heru Ali, nothing but love. KG says, hello, family of nations. $180 support challenge. Let's go. Even when he off somewhere, he come through and be like, yo, here are our marching orders. Are we going to follow it? Are we going to follow it? Lloyd Hinton set it off. 1999. Let's go, y'all.
The activism of the community
What we doing?
members and community residents has almost solely stimulated economic recovery.
What are we doing? Let's get on the line.
Generating billions of dollars by redirecting them to South LA schools and foster care. In addition,
I'm off
Community
tomorrow.
Coalition offers amazing mind, body, soul resources.
I am
advocacy,
off
and policy work, and has a
tomorrow.
robust and active membership body. To become a member, get a referral, or get support.
Oh,
for
and
your
by the way,
nonprofit, visit CocoSouthLA.org. That's CocoSouthLA.org.
we're going to talk about
323-750-9087. This is a community call to action from KLA.
It ain't going to be about
1580.
50 and his son per se, but it's going to be about the scenario and the situation when fathers and their children are estranged on Friday. I'm going to go and break all of that down.
Happening Friday, September 23rd, and
you could even apply it to the LeBron. Wayne Richards, man, thank you for the $5 on the on the Cash App. Thank you, brother. That $5 gonna go a long way in my tank.
We're always thinking of ways to save you time.
11:30.
Oh, it's not even a whole gallon, but guess what? Right in that tank. We appreciate it, brother.
History and benefits information. Request a replacement Social Security card.
No, because this is one of them real ass topics. You want me to talk about astrology? I love astrology. I love numerology. It has its place. But the activity on that show should be for this show. Man, it's $7.19 where I live. Yeah. I know I'm passionate, but let's take it down a notch. I just wanted to get in this vibe because this show is about self-reflection tonight. This is Jack Herrera. The record is called City Lights. The group is called Jack Herrera. It's John B. and two other gentlemen, a brother named Silky and a brother named Dominique Quinn. Man, an amazing album. The album is called Retro Futuristo. I was in the studio when it was recorded over 20 years ago, and it never came out. It got shelved. So it just recently came out. It's on Apple. What is that? What is it? Apple Music? Apple Music. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, all of that right now. Go get the Jack Herrera album. An amazing album, man. John B had a group. Nobody knew about it. Jack Herrera. Let's get to the phone lines. Let's go to the person that was on the longest, Big Floss, Inglewood, California. Let's go.
Big Zo, what you know?
Hey, man, I'm just sitting here doing what I do.
I know you over there stanking because you keeping it real.
Yeah, let's go.
I just, you asked a question, how would one rate themselves?
Mm-hmm.
I personally would rate myself a 7.5 because, you know, we are all on a journey as opposed to a destination.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to rate myself anything above so it would be indicative of me being kind of full of myself. Break up the phone call.
Hey man, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at a 7.5 out of 10. I ain't mad at that. Keep going.
Because I have room to grow.
I'm
53 years old, but I still have a lot of time to grow. And there's a song that a lot of people should listen to by KRS-One. Love's Gonna Get You.
Woo, great record.
Came out on late 80s.
Yeah.
On the Edutainment album.
Edutainment, I think it was 1990. Great record. Yeah.
Right. It was late 80s, early 90s. And I only bring up that to say, like, you know, when it comes to self-evaluation, we need to stop appreciating the materialistic aspect. That, like, for example, if I were to purchase a 65-inch TV, mounted, everything, and it has all the works, all the perks.
Carry him over real quick. Carry him.
Wait. Big Floss. Wait, Big Floss. We got to take a quick intermission, but stay with me because you cooking right now. I like the KRS-One Love's Gonna Get You metaphor. I love it. Hold tight. When we come forward, I'm going back to Inglewood. Big Floss.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Nick, you gotta call in. Nick, you gotta call in. Neek is the night. You gotta call in. Next Level Shit off the Bonafide album. Yeah.
The folks at Gardena Nissan will take fantastic care of you and help you get into the car you need.
Everybody got a long way to go.
At a spectacular price. Visit them today or shop online at GardinaNissan.com. Plus, be sure to look for Gardena Nissan at this year's Taste of Soul on October 15th.
Hey, Xylon. Xylon. Who do we lose? Who hung up?
You know, some of these cats are probably impatient. I don't know. Mario sound like he might have been out and about.
Mario, call back. Come on, Mario.
Current events happening around the city of LA and surrounding areas. Weekly LA, or visit us on the website at www.weeklyla.com. Our Weekly LA is unique, and here's why. Edgy.
Arabia here trying to talk with her mouth. Hey, Xylon, good looking on that $20, man. I appreciate it. Mario, stop bullshitting. Get back on the line.
Innovative. Across Black America original, design, style, and format is fresh and has been copied by competitors. Readers are intrigued each week to see what's on the cover of our weekly. Our Weekly LA distributes every Thursday, reaching more than 200,000 readers. For your advertising needs, our Weekly LA offers competitive rates, so call our Weekly LA at 323-905-1303. 323-905-1303.
Here we go.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, wait, turn that off. Wait, that's just too cold. Hold on. We're going to have to hold that track for later and play it again. Because that's just, boy, that's the cartoons, man. I done told y'all the cartoons is different. Let me get my brother Big Floss in here and wrap up his thought real quick. We back on KBLA Talk 1580. This is the Voice of Reason. Big Floss from Inglewood was really breaking something down that I want to hear. Brother, you got a minute to do it.
Oh, yes, sir. Real quick. And I love the way you brought in the cartoon, The Airbender.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. But to wrap it up, I brought up that song because more times than not, we appreciate materialistic things than we appreciate ourselves. Self-care is the best care. Whatever it is, whether you meditate, whether you pray, you work out, whatever congeals that mind, body, and spirit, that's what we need to focus on as an individual.
I love it, brother.
And that's all I have to say.
Hey, Big Floss, always a pleasure, brother. Call in anytime. Listen.
One love to everyone.
Yes, sir. Listen, let me just do this real quick. Because I know, Daryl, please, Daryl, hang on the line, brother, because we're up against it. I want to get you at the top of the hour where you got room to speak. But let me just say this. I don't say self-care. I don't use the word care. I say self-empathy. When one empathizes with oneself, look at oneself without judgment, right? And for me, if you're going to have the real relationship that you've always wanted, you're going to have to really have the relationship with yourself first. How do you do that? You're going to have to ask yourself some deep questions. And I say create a journal for each of these questions, right? What do I feel like I'm missing in my life? See, sometimes we think it's a relationship. We get a relationship and find ourselves unfulfilled, right? We don't understand all that relationship entails. Relationship is school. If you're not ready to go to school, if you're not ready to do the work, then relationships will be difficult, right? What are some of my long-term and short-term goals? And why do I even categorize them as such, right? What are some of my passions? What are my values? What is my purpose in life? What are some things that I love about myself, but other things that I don't think highly of? These are all journal questions, right? Listen, when we come forward, I'm going to talk to my brother Daryl in Los Angeles. He's going to help me answer some of these questions.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Kevin Brown, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden is warning that
that cartoons record
is possible in the near future, but he doesn't anticipate.
Sheesh.
I got it lined up for the next hour.
Sheesh.
I know you want to let that rock for a little bit.
That cartoon is ignorant.
Democrats have a slight advantage.
Where my phone callers at? Where y'all at? Motherfuckers, do you know how many we have 4 motherfuckers left on the line yesterday hanging. My brother Truemonger, I couldn't get to True. Come on.
American Idol runner-up Willie Spence is dead at the age of 23. Local reports in his hometown of Douglas, Georgia, say Spence died from injuries sustained in a car accident in Tennessee. Spence came in second place last year on the show's 19th season, where he sang a duet with Catherine McPhee. That's the latest. I'm Kevin Brown from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Santa Monica, on the 10 eastbound at Bundy Drive, a stalled car has been cleared out of lanes and your drive is recovering, but still pretty slow from Centinela. South LA 110 southbound at 28th Street. There's a wreck there involving a motorcycle. That has the left lane blocked, so your drive is heavy from the 10. And if you're on the 5 northbound, that's at the 170 in Sun Valley. A Compton car is stuck in the left lane. That's causing
they really are.
Traffic from Sheldon.
All we got to do
is call the
accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys. Because unlike other firms, an attorney will negotiate your case, not a paralegal.
Drop me.
When you tune in to KBLA Talk 1580, we want you to know what you're downloading.
Now you listen to me, and you listen to me closely.
In a recent African-American media issue survey conducted by the Public Opinion Research and Public Policy Consulting firm Eviderus, KBLA Talk 1580 was found to be the most trusted, credible, and reliable source on the airways for Black Los Angeles and beyond.
Sure.
We take our role seriously as your trusted messenger. At KBLA Talk 1580, it's about truth, not ratings. And when you hear us say, when we come forward, we mean mean it. We mean it. That's the bottom line. We're not going back. Not to the back of the bus, not to back alleys, not back in the closet, definitely not back to the good old days. Might as well forget it. No way. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice
Here we
of
go.
reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
I love that shit. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait?
I just have so many questions I want to ask.
Great.
I'm pregnant.
Trail has been committed with bad touch routine. How does he maintain his
I don't know.
Why can't you open up, brother? I'm a karate man. Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
How do you write women so well?
So William, reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
Let me ask you a question. What would happen to you in your life if you stopped trying things as much? That you did everything you could to succeed, to achieve your goals, to take action, but you let go of the attachments of things happening the way that you believe they're supposed to happen. In fact, how can you give yourself love? How can you connect more with yourself? And for me, there's been many different ways. Number one, what about just spending time with yourself? If you're in a relationship, how do you let someone know that you love them? You're going to spend time with them. Well, how often do you spend time with yourself? A study that was done at the University of California years ago, and it took people that were severely depressed, clinically depressed. A lot of them were on antidepressants. They didn't exercise for 20 minutes a day. They did one thing, well, two things really. They smiled, okay, but a big grin on their face, and they looked up. And they just did that for 20 minutes a day. Now, the results of this were pretty extraordinary. Just by having people smile and look up, what they found was they weren't able to be depressed. You know, in fact, you can try it right now. If you put a big smile on your face and look up, and try to get depressed. I bet you can't do it. Try to be angry. Try to be frustrated. You can't, because biochemically, when you do that, when you smile and you look up, your brain releases different chemicals. When you're always trying to control life and believing that life has to be a certain way, this has to happen, or this shouldn't happen. And then oftentimes what happens is people, they're always stressed out, they always have anxiety, they're always living in fear, they're always suffering on some level because life is totally uncertain. Life is unknown. And so what they found by doing this with the group of people that they did this for is that they were not only able to overcome the depression, but a lot of them were off antidepressants and had a long-term effect on them as well. And it was just so powerful that they were able to accomplish this just by doing it every day. A lot of them habitually changed the way they use their facial expressions because typically right now we have a habitual way of using our body. We've all heard the expression that emotion is created by motion, and that the more that you move and use your body, it biochemically affects how you feel. My challenge for you is to build a better relationship with you.
Come on! That's what tonight's topic is. Is your relationship with yourself as toxic as the people you date or are married to? You can't mistreat yourself and be treated well. Oh, man. Just be honest. Okay. Let me get my brother Daryl back in here. Daryl?
Hey.
Because I know you was about to cook, man. I know you was about to cook. Let's do it.
I'll burn up the rest of the hour, dude. Because I can't say this to everybody. Like, dude, the way your delivery is, and the way you take people's defenses down, and the way you peel people back like an onion, just getting them to look inward at themselves, and that's where it all is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the way you put it, dude, I'm gonna tell you, I'm just glad I found your show, man. When you had sat in for Dr. Tijana's
Jashana Johnson, that's my sister, man.
That's my sister too, damn. I mean, I tell you, let me get into it because I don't want to. I got so much stuff I can say, but I wanted to just start with this because, in terms of having a toxic relationship with yourself, I've had it for quite some time, and I think when it started was when I was in my late teens. I'm a Gemini, May 29, 1964.
Let's go, Jim. Let's go, Gemini.
But I had a quick wit, right? And I would cut people down, dude, and then I would feel bad.
Right.
I mean, they would feel bad too, and then I would feel bad, and they'd feel bad, and then I was like, what kind of dude am I, right? So I began to suppress that side of me. And here I am, 58. I can hardly find that guy. And I let people talk to me reckless. And I just want to lash out. But I don't want to be that guy that I was trying to avoid when I was in my teens, right?
Right.
And it's the craziest thing. But you kind of help
Actually, break out the phone call.
Navigate back to that guy, you know, and just all I have to do is respect others as well as I respect myself, right?
Yes. And what I was going to say, bro, is use the Bruce Lee principle. Bruce Lee says,
be like water?
No, he says, take what you can use. He did say be like water, but take what you can use and leave the rest. So the old you that was vibrant, because believe me, man, I'm a Gemini too. There's certain I don't even remember how to rap anymore. I used to be a cold MC in the 90s. I used to be ridiculous. And I used to be just, I understand what you're talking about. I don't even remember how to do that anymore. But believe me, brother, 58 years young, my friend, you still have a lot to give. And you can find bits and pieces of that, brother, but not the bits and pieces that were hurtful to others. Man, you're a Gemini. We're masters of talking, of communicating. Brother, you could get into the inspiration business where you first inspire yourself. Use that as a testimony. Build yourself up. Embrace yourself without judgment. I mean, listen, we're Geminis. We got ideas flowing all day. And when we can't execute, brother, I understand. When we can't execute, we feel like we've let ourselves down. Brother, don't do that. Get out. Meet some people. Talk with people. Let your light shine on people. And then they're going to see you and be like, hey, you know what, brother? I got a project I'm working on. I'd love to have. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, absolutely, because that aspect of it, I totally embrace that. I have a commercial plumbing company, so I do build retail stores and stuff, and I'm a pretty decent name in the industry for those general contractors that actually build the stores. I'm on Rodeo now doing a Versace, Shade store, Louis Vuitton, and I canceled the Chanel. If you were in Beverly Hills lately, you're on Rodeo Drive, they built a Chanel store. That was my largest project ever, but I had to step away because it was too big. But, I appreciate you, man, and I'm going to keep listening, but I need you to let us know which one of your books had that journal in it, because I didn't get all of your questions that you said. That you were lining up at the latter part of the last hour. You were saying, what do I feel that I'm missing in my life? I got that one. I got what am I passionate about? But you had another one before that one, because I had to get my pen working.
Yeah.
Half of them. But
no,
do you have a book written about that or no?
I do have a book. You should get The Relationship Dismount. How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. It has a full workbook in the back of the book. You should work with that. And then my latest book is The Shrouded Lighthouse, All you have to do is go to theshroudedlighthouse.com. It has 100 questions in the back of the book that help you navigate this thing too. So we appreciate it, man.
So before I let you go, though, man, before I let you go, why is it that they taking over your show? We need these 2 hours, man. I mean, I got Dominique is gonna be bombed tomorrow.
Dominique gonna kill tomorrow, bruh. Hey, man, this the hot seat right now. This is the hot seat. That's all.
But this is the thing. You should get to 3 hours a night, and let the other guys before you get.
Oh Lord, my brother's programming the station. No, man. Nah, man, let me just say, man, we got a cold team over here, man, and I'm in the right slot at the right time, and I'm doing my thing, man, and like I said, it's all one big chain over here. Ain't no weak links. We all killing.
It's all love. It's all love.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. All right. Listen, when we come forward, we got Truemonger. We got Neek is the Night. I'm going with Neek is the Night because she's been on the longest. And then we got Nelly, who just popped in from Cincinnati, Ohio. We all over the nation right now. People really want to talk about this. I know you're in a toxic relationship with yourself, but what are you doing to help yourself?
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 15.
Huh?
You're the victim of a car accident. Who goes to bat for you is crucial.
Who's talking in there? What's happening?
Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a reward.
Oh, you seeing all the... You looking at all of the topics. You see the topics in there. We done had a gang of cold ass topics.
MVP wins for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call me your MVP. The landscape in Inglewood may be changing, but with the right housing and community solutions, our neighborhoods won't have to. Together, with Social Justice Learning Institute and Venice Community Housing, let's design our home court advantage. Come join the community design events happening Friday, September 23rd.
Hey, for sure. This one of them topics, yo.
Events start at 5:30 p.m.
This one of them topics. Nobody wants to do this kind of work. Nobody wants to talk about it. This is why relationships be fucked up. Even in a safe space like this, where you can get in and say, all right, Zoe, what do you think about bop, bop, bop? And I say, oh, try this. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers refuse to look at themselves. And I ain't even begun to start teaching yet because we're dealing with callers. I'm getting the callers in. Once the callers are done, I'm going to get on the teaching aspect of it. But that's what motherfuckers really want. They want to be told. And I'm saying, go on a journey into self. Nah, well, get in a relationship. Get in a relationship, nigga, and take a picture of your motherfucking chicken and waffles. You understand what I'm saying? Like, do the menial shit. Take a picture of your motherfucking your Thai noodles. We had a Thai restaurant. That's what brings motherfuckers joy. Did you see how they bake those motherfucking croquettes? I ain't never had air fried salmon croquettes. That shit was delicious, my nigga. Lord have mercy.
Why it was so important for them to be here?
I found it important to be here.
Meanwhile, the relationship with themselves.
Because I want some more capital.
I know motherfuckers be in the bed suffering at night. Motherfucker right over there next to you, you be like,
advance my money in, whether it be stocks, digital.
And why do you think it's important for companies like
suffering
to promote building generational wealth in Black and brown?
No, they made it them. It's really them.
Promote Black wealth because most banks
Exactly.
really, in my opinion, care about the money that I'm spending as they would, opposed to a white counterpart that might have the same dollar amount in their account. So.
Well, you can bet on Chase offering insights on financial health, the
By
process
rabbit
of
mosquito.
ownership, and entrepreneurship. It's the Chase Advancing Black Wealth Tour.
Here we go.
You know you want some more. More. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh my God. Woo! The Voice of Reason back in the building. It's Wednesday. I'm going to get you over that hump. Man, we live on KBLA. Talk 1580. The Voice of Reason. We're going to ask the questions nobody else wants to ask. This track is called Vamp. Cartoons. Carrrtoons. Cartoons. That's the name of the group. My gosh. Woo! We wanted to start a whole vibe. We did it with that. Tonight's topic, if you're just tuning in, is your relationship with yourself as toxic as the people you date and or are married to? Let me just say it again. I believe relationship is a mirror, a highly reflective classroom where the biofeedback you get from your partner is your personal curriculum. Yes, I believe that. Carl Gustav Jung believed it too. Everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves. Relationship as a mirror. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. He who looks inside dreams. He who looks outside, dreams. He who looks inside awakes. When you look inside, you wake up. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. In my Shrouded Lighthouse book, chapter 13, we talk about self-authorship. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. Listen, I'm not making this stuff up, guys. Relationship is a mirror. You treat yourself bad, you will be treated bad. You will be marginalized. You will be forgotten. There are no villains. There are only victims. I know y'all not ready to hear that. There are only victims, people. We are all victims of victims. Victims have the seed of victimizing within them, and that's where they get it from. You victimize yourself, right? When you become this, I'm only the victim. You victimized yourself. You're now the villain when you hold on to the identity of the victim. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Let's go. Neek is the night. You're up now. What's happening?
Let's see. I would say that as Shannon was saying about rating myself or talking down to myself or negative self-talk, I would say I rate myself about a 4.5 because I always start, but I never finish. I always get busy. Like I have journals with maybe 2 or 3 pages and then blank for the rest of them. It's like I try to fill my day and my life up with things to do. So I don't have to do that.
So, you know what I'm hearing? It sounds like you're outcome driven. You want the outcome, but you never get there. And that upsets you. So I have a question. I mean, is that right? Am I right? Okay, cool. All right. So then I have a question. Do you enjoy the process?
Yes.
Because if you if you enjoy if you really enjoy the process, you know what happens? It really doesn't matter if you reach the outcome. So many people are outcome driven that they marginalize the process. They just want to stand on the stage with the trophy. But people who have worked to get that trophy, please understand that trophy presentation is only a few minutes. When you have worked so hard to win this imaginary championship, right? When you've worked so hard to reach it and you finally reach it, the moment of being acknowledged goes really, really quick. But what it does, in that moment, you find yourself reflecting on the process, on the journey it took to get there, and how valuable the journey actually is. We live in a society that could care less about the journey, right? We want the end result. And I'm telling you, don't be so outcome driven. So what you didn't finish it? But do you enjoy the process? Does it make you feel good to pick up a book and journal about who you are, what you are, where you're going, what you're about, what you'd like to be about, what you no longer want to participate in? Do you enjoy that?
I don't think I enjoy that.
That's my point. That's my point. There, now we're back to the real issue. Now, why is that a problem if you know that that could be a solution?
I don't know. I guess sometimes it feels good to not do anything sometimes.
There you go. Now we're getting to it. Now, why does it feel good to not do anything when you know doing something is showing up for yourself? How did you get comfortable with not showing up for you? If this process benefits you by participating in it, talk to me. It's okay. There is no judgment here. You're not a bad person because you do it. But the question is, why do you do it? And how do you justify doing it? Because guess what? You're still doing something. You might not be doing what you think you want to do, but you're doing something by not doing what you think you should do. Did you hear that?
I don't really think I want to know the answer sometimes.
There we go. This is good stuff. Tell me more. Why don't you want to know the answer?
Because I might find out, or other people might find out. I don't know. I just feel like there should be things that maybe I don't know or people don't know. So then
shame.
I remain.
Shame. What are you supposed to be? Baby, are you a Catholic? What we doing? We guilted now? No more guilt.
Yeah,
we got. There you go. We got to break up with guilt and shame. We not playing the shame game. And now we're getting to the crux of the problem. Shame. Can we break up with shame? Can you create a journal that outlines your plan to escape the prison of shame? Shame, Shaw Shame Redemption. We got to get through it. And yes, it's going to be difficult. And yes, it's going to be arduous. It's going to challenge you. But you have to say to you, my relationship with me is the epicenter of all relationships I have orbiting around my spirit. If the relationship with myself is spiritually penurious, poor, poverty, impoverished, then the rest of the relationships will suffer as well. I will attract more wounded hearts, and our wounds will dance until they don't like each other anymore. And they start stepping on each other's wounds. Do you know how this works? Don't you? But do you see? All right. I hope I helped. Listen, get that. Please get that book, the Self-Esteem Workbook, Glenn R. Schiraldi, PhD. The Self-Esteem Workbook, Glenn R. Schiraldi. Please get it. Somebody put that in the link in the chat so she could get that. Thank you. Appreciate you, sister. Yo, let me grab my brother Truemonger. We got to do this quick. Let's go, True.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, bro?
Oh, man. Another banger of a topic.
Come on, brother.
Man, been toxic to yourself? Yeah, I have. Personally, I have.
Mm-hmm.
And those situations, I had to go back and catch myself and acknowledge where it happened. You know, like you were saying earlier, without blame. Just acknowledge what happened.
Right.
If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. A lot of people get stuck on that stuff. They constantly try to figure out why it didn't work out with that person. I'm like, man, I got to the point where I just learned a lesson from it and kept growing. I take a lot of time with myself, whether it's just through meditation, reading, working out, whatever. And I just go through my thoughts through that. It's been helpful, but I know I still got a long way to go. At the end of the day, I try to treat people the way I want to be treated, with respect, until they show me something else, and then I act accordingly.
There you go.
So that's something I still need to work on.
There you go.
It is what it is at this point.
Man, Truemonger, once again, brother. You have no idea how much I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for calling in. You got a seat at the table. Call in anytime. You want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we're going to continue this conversation to Baton Rouge and Cincinnati. That track dumb as hell.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of Raising with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA.
Yo, that track is illy. The name is called Vamp. V-A-M-P. Vamp. Cartoons. That shit dumb.
Democrats, including President Biden, urged her and two other council members to quit. Los Angeles Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams is charged with misdemeanor assault after being caught on video shoving a cameraman after this week's.
He said it just changed my whole night.
Accuses Adams of an intentional.
You know who be picking these records, right?
Also says Adams caused the cameraman's whiplash, a headache.
Nah, it's all. Hey, listen, Neek, it's all good. It's all good.
At the age of 50,
you are a unique, special being. And you got more courage than a lot of motherfuckers because you called in. A lot of motherfuckers are afraid to have that conversation. You had it. You were transparent. You shared. You opened up. Listen. And to cry is to show your humanity. You got so many motherfuckers that ain't even human no more. Because they can't cry. They can't open up. They can't be vulnerable. They're fucking social robots. And the fact that you called and opened up and shared and actually got something from it, an understanding, you're the winner. You've done something. You've taken a step forward.
When we come forward, we mean it. That's the bottom line. We're not going back. Not to the back of the bus, not to back alleys, not
Third eye, I know, like, this might be the wrong situation, dog.
We're unapologetically progressive.
You always got something slick to say, my nigga. Is this a dude or a girl? I don't know who I'm talking to.
The California Institute of
Always got something slick to say.
An accredited nonprofit institution.
I understand the culture of chat rooms. I get it.
That affects social change and make it easy with no GRE required and a 24-month program of.
But yo, sometimes that shit is untimely and unwanted. I like motherfuckers who want to build. Now, I get it. But sometimes that shit's out of place.
For the latest and current events happening around the city of LA
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
surrounding areas, pick up a copy
No
of
disrespect.
LA
Sometimes it's out of place.
website at www.weekly.com.
It might be too much work for you. Well, hypothetically, let's say Arabia is not here and I'm in the bathroom or whatever, right? It's something I got from Donovan.
Oh, I can answer the call?
Not answer, but you can put them on hold.
Oh, really?
Give us a call right now,
We write
right?
about what resonates with our readership. Innovative across Black America
Okay, see,
original
that's, you see,
design.
Yep.
I'm not here, Arabia's not here. Grab the thing, you see next right here?
Yeah.
Press that. It's, I'm on air, right? But obviously I
then
can't
on
put
hold.
them too. Don't hold. Now you go over here. See the hold button right here?
Yeah.
Your advertising needs are Weekly LA
Now they're on
offers
hold.
Boom.
So when I get back, I can see that phone calls on hold.
I got it.
Alright?
I got it.
So next on the top,
You want to take? Oh, you hung up
I just
and
hung
then
up.
and then they're gone.
they're gone.
Got it.
So when I come back, I see, oh, somebody called and I can, get to it.
There you go. Hey, and back to third eye. Hey, I promise you, it's all love, man. It's all love. I'm not tripping at all. I'm just saying there's a time and a place for everything, bro. And like I said, I understand the culture of chat rooms. Everybody's a comedian. Everybody's funny. I love that shit. When it's time for it, right? This is a different kind of topic, and we dealing with different shit. You know what I'm saying? And people are at different levels of understanding in this motherfucker, man. And some people might feel offended by a statement like that. Like, no, man, we trying to work in another direction, brother. So please don't take this as a reprimand or any disrespect to you, but it's like, read the room.
Live in a minute.
Read the room. You know what I'm saying? Read the room. Read the vibe of the show. Like you said that shit yesterday's show? Oh man. Yesterday's show was so motherfucking funny and fun, and this a whole different energy, right? We did the astrology thing yesterday. Motherfucker, it was turned up. And yo, it's all good in that show. You know what I mean?
Conflict and dispute resolution training,
Get it.
grief counseling, and victims advocacy. In addition, the foundation offers an array of classes focused on anger management, domestic violence, parenting, substance abuse.
No, I understand. Me too. Shit, my motherfucking response to you might be flawed. I'm not too big to acknowledge that. My fucking response to you might be off. Just because I'm responding to you in this way doesn't necessarily mean that I'm correct.
listening to the voice of reason, the voice of reason with Bill Williams, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
My playlist is my co-host. Can I tell you a little bit about KBLA? KBLA Talk 1580 has got the city of Los Angeles on fire. The whole station. We got the city of Los Angeles on fire. If you're a part of this movement, hey man, consider yourself lucky. Because when do all the stars align to where it just pop off like KBLA has popped off in just a little over a year? Oh man, it's going down in the town. Listen, that track, because people are asking, that track is called Chicken and Waffles Baptist Church. Listen, my playlist is varied. Chicken and Waffles Baptist Church. And the N is not chicken and waffles, it's a literal N. Chicken and Waffles Baptist Church.
And it ain't church, it's church.
Oh, yes, church. Baptist Church. Okay? Salam Remy. All right? Salam Remy is the producer. And let me just remind everybody, tomorrow, October 13th, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the second episode of our special series, Agenda for America, an African American Perspective, executive produced by our very own Tavis Smiley. This week's conversation, the state of Black youth in America, which is moderated by legendary radio personality Dominique DePrima. You cannot miss it. I'm off. I appreciate the day off. You understand? It's me. It's hard work coming up with these topics every day. Every day? Yes, every day. I come up with a brand new topic, but I'm off. I get to sit and chill and listen to Dominique DePrima, 7 to 9 p.m., the state of Black youth in America. Don't miss it, and be sure to vote on or by Tuesday, November 8th. All right, back to the conversation. Your toxic relationship with yourself. Let's get the person who's been on the line the longest, Nellie, Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's go.
Hi, I think when you get older, things change.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think it's possible to not be toxic to yourself?
Wait, say again. Do you think what?
It's possible to not be toxic with yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. You can grow out of certain toxic behaviors and toxic ideas, a behavior like negative self-talk. You can grow out of that, right? You can definitely grow in the knowledge and understanding of cultivating self-care, what is called self-care. I normally call it self-empathy, but most people call it self-care. But you can grow and deepen in your understanding of that. You can deepen in meditation, mindfulness. You can deepen in all of these things. And the more you deepen in those areas or activities, yes, the less amount of toxicity can exist in you. You're absolutely right.
Can I tell you when I had a pivotal moment?
Sure.
So for my entire life, I enjoy the process, actually, of setting goals. Personally, I feel sorry for the previous caller because she's missing out. That's kind of the fun part of life is setting goals, pivoting, changing, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to always push me to do better, do more, work harder. I'm like, gosh, am I never good enough? And the day he died, something changed. And I'm like, you know what? He only said that stuff because he believed I was capable.
I love it. Keep going. I'm listening. Because guess what? Guess what? I know you're giving the power to your dad, but really the power is yours. Because what if you interpreted it negatively, right? You could have interpreted that as, gosh, Dad just pushed me. Dad's never happy with me. Dad is never satisfied with me. What am I, like you said, what am I not good enough? But the fact that you were able to interpret it in a positive way, that right there, you just illustrated a power, a superpower, the power of interpretation. You see that? You interpret it as, no, he believed that I could do anything, which is why he pushed me that way. Another person may have interpreted as, he didn't like me because I can't do no good. I can't, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because for 37 years, that's how I did interpret it. And then for some reason, when he died, a switch went off. And I'm like, why did I not see it this way a decade ago?
I love it.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes you need that insecurity that pushes you a little bit, but not to the point to where you don't even try at all. And I think that's the problem in the world right now is so many people just won't even try. Like, they'll come and say, oh, I want what you have. Like, I want a house. I want this. I'm like, okay, but you don't want to make the sacrifice. You don't want to put in the hard work. You don't want to... Does that make sense? It's like, I don't know if it's being afraid to fail?
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of people are afraid to fail. Absolutely. And a lot of people are afraid to succeed. That's self-sabotage jumps right in and goes, nope, you're not finna win. You don't want to win because you're not worthy to win. And you be like, wait, I did all the work. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do to get here. And then you backtrack. You step back from the victory because a lot of people don't feel themselves or deem themselves worthy. That's a toxic relationship with self. And then they go get in a relationship and go on a date with somebody and buy them some chicken and waffles and try to have a real conversation about how we could get together. It's like, no, you have a whole relationship with yourself that needs to be reconciled. You have to reconcile that first, or you're going to track that into the relationship. Does it make sense?
I agree with you a little bit on that, but I hear so often people say, oh, I'm working on myself. You know, oh, I'm working on myself. I got to work on myself. I got to do it. And it's like, that's life. You're always going to work on yourself. Like, you should never stop. You got to stop and smell the roses for sure and look back and be like, okay, I'm proud. But if you just say, like, I got to get my life together, like, okay, am I supposed to wait for that? No, bye.
But you know what? A lot of people say they're working on themselves just to be saying it. They don't actually have a strategy for how to work on themselves. A lot of people have a very limited self-knowledge toolbox. They only have their norm. And typically their norm is where they came from, how they were raised, who raised them. Whatever tools your parents have, they pass down to you. Your job is to either discard or upgrade the toolbox. So when you pass it on to your kids, it won't be the same toolbox that your parents passed on to you.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I said to my son, I'm like, we're poor. We can afford that. And he goes, Mommy, we're not poor. And I was like, ooh. I felt that.
So the baby gave you a tool. He said, wait a minute, I can't use that tool. Use this tool.
Yep.
I love it.
They begin after that. So, yeah, I wish more young people especially. I remember being young and being insecure, like the big push, you should be in college, blah, blah, blah. And if you weren't, you could feel bad about yourself.
Wow.
I don't know. I just wish more young people would go out there and do something they don't really want to do to get where they want to be. If that makes sense. Like,
yes.
You understand, you're not going to start off at the top. You don't get out here with a 2021 car. You got to get a 2002. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey.
Then you get to that point of, like, you get to sit back, like, I did this. I got this.
Let me tell you something.
And then you want to share it with other people.
Let me tell you something. I appreciate your call so much. Do you know you brought Cincinnati, Ohio into the building in a real way? You have earned your seat at the Voice of Reason on your first call. Call in anytime, would you?
Well, I appreciate that. And I will be watching more often, too. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Call in anytime. Thank you so much. The Voice of Reason is on fire. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When I return, I'm going to Baton Rouge to my homeboy Dre.
More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
This shit good.
She was really good.
Real talk.
She was good. Somebody said she would have brother. Boy,
And stickier than we
I can't stand this motherfucking Truemonger.
True
Truemonger said she with a brother.
sharing lip gloss or mild sneezes.
Truemonger is comedy.
One thing we can protect them from, and that's COVID-19. Keep your family safer with vaccines and boosters. Find one near you at myturn.ca.
Now let me see what my brother Third Eye was saying.
California Department of Public Health.
Neek is the night in a roundabout way was saying Zoe is right about people being social robots. I was admitting I am one. Your calling in was brave. It just came across bad. It was brave. It's all good. Listen, I'm not tripping at all. And like I said, it's text message. It's text. We tend to misinterpret text all day, and I know I do. I need to talk to motherfuckers. Don't text me. I'd rather talk to you personally. That's why I said, you know, I could be wrong, even in my admonishment of you.
On Crenshaw and 39th Street. That's Crenshaw and 39th Street. This has been a KBLA Talk 1580 community call to action.
For real.
The all-new Gardena Nissan is proud to be a partner of KBLA, and right now during their fall sales event, 0 down delivers any new or pre-owned car at Gardena Nissan. They're located in
it's all love.
Beach Boulevard at Western, and they specialize in helping folks out who have no
Text does lead to misunderstanding because I read it as, yeah, I'm a social robot too. That's how it sounded in my head. Yeah, nigga, I'm a social robot too. Hey, stop playing. Not, yeah, I'm a social robot too. Like,
they'll be giving out money, prizes, and coupons at the KBLA Beer and Wine Garden. For the best deals, log on to GardinaNissan.com. 0 down on approved credit. Visit them today or shop online at GardinaNissan.com.
What happened?
All these topics.
Live in a minute. When we return, take it all the way to the top. To thank all of our
I ain't gonna get another music break.
Huh?
I'm not gonna get another music break.
Areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusaders. I got no more commercials to play.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But you want more music?
No, it's all good.
I was trying to give you more time to cook. You feel me?
I got you.
Subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Oh, I've never seen it. I didn't know anything about it. You know, I'll be paying attention.
Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Christ alive, this track. Woo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Voice of Reason. We getting ready to wrap it up, but we got callers. But my playlist is my co-host, The name of this track is called Best Believe. Hey, you best believe it's slapping. The artist is I Am Nobody. Such a vibe. This is what the inside of my car sounds like. Heading down Slauson. Just, I'm sorry. I digress. Tonight we were talking about having a toxic relationship with self and how to heal that relationship before we take the toxicity of that relationship into, other relationships. This is what trauma bonding is about. Their toxic relationship with self is looking to bond with your toxicity, and there you have it, shadow bonding, trauma bonding. We have to stop this cycle. Let me get to my brother Dre from Baton Rouge.
So what up?
Hey, brother Dre, what's up, man? I'm glad you made it.
I give myself a 6 because I have to work on my self-empathy, and I still procrastinate, and I'm still formulating my own philosophy of life. And I think, in my opinion, it would work better if we did formulate our own philosophy, because I believe my toxic relationship with myself began with my indoctrination and programming into a belief system.
Or identifying with the toxicity of society, right?
That as well. That's the programming as well.
Yes. Go ahead.
You have the educational system, you have the religious system, and it's all toxic because, for me, with Christianity, for instance, I don't know the verse word for word, but if you want to follow me, you have to deny yourself and pick up your cross and follow you. But why am I following you? And then you tell me not to lean on my own understanding. Well, whose understanding do I lean on? Because I'm the one that's in this.
Well, can I give you a little perspective on that?
Please.
When it says, lean not on your own understanding, please understand the verse is implying that you have a base understanding, a human understanding. When you get to a higher level of consciousness, you begin to merge with the one consciousness that we call God. But when you're not connected to that, lean not on that understanding. It's really telling you that there's a higher understanding that like for instance, Christians call God God Almighty. Muslims call him Allah. The West Africans say Olodumare. But the reality of it is God is pervasive in everything. God is ubiquitous. It's everything. And when you feel like, listen to what I'm about to say, when you feel like you're disconnected from God, the very term disconnect is a lie. Because you can't be disconnected from that which you are permanently connected to. You're one with Source. It's your perception that says, I'm disconnected. Lean not on that understanding, brother. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Makes sense.
I got you, man. So I appreciate the call, Dre. Man, you can call in here anytime, man. You can call in here anytime, brother. I promise you, we got a seat for you, okay?
Most definitely.
Yes, sir. Let's get over to Georgia. Brother Rio from Georgia. What part of Georgia you from, Brother Rio?
Yes, sir. Salam alaikum, brother.
Walaikum assalam.
Yes, sir. In the part of Decatur, man, the main reason I called is, of course, add on to your topic. And before that, let me just say, man, shout out to Zoe Williams. He's a great speaker. He's a great author, man. I've been listening to him forever, man. I just want to give you your flowers real quick.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
To speak on the topic, brother, is your relationship with yourself as toxic as the people you date or married to? Now, that's a big question.
Mm-hmm.
And how I feel about that is, you can't hop into something willy-nilly, you know what I mean, and you don't got yourself together right, you know what I mean? So we have to be careful before we just jump into things, you know what I mean? And overall, man, I just want to say, having that faith is important too. So a lot of people may be going astray or going out willy-nilly without having really faith because they don't know what they're going into. You know what I mean? So I want to ask you the question too, brother. How do you think we can get ourselves straight before we go into a relationship with whomever, you know what I mean, and not go into that rendezvous with that shadow boxing? You know what I mean?
Hey, you got kids, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes, I have a beautiful 7-year-old daughter.
So, you know, kids have phases. Sometimes kids are playful, sometimes they don't want to be bothered. And have you noticed how you're able to just stay steadfast even regardless of the fluctuation of your child's emotions or temperament? You just stay steadfast. Your dad, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got to be that way with your wounds. You treat your wounds like you treat your kids. Without judgment. You don't judge your 7-year-old, do you? You just accept her for who she is. You got to do that to your wounds.
Going through a phase.
That's it. You got to do that to whatever you've been through, and then you got to let it go. It's accept, then release. Accept, then let go. Most people don't accept. What we resist persists, and then what we're resisting, we identify with the opposite of it, thus empowering what we've resisted. Hey, brother, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. We got to move on, brother. Thank you for the call. Thank you. Hey, remember, toxic self-relationship is driven primarily by negative self-talk. The stories we tell ourselves based on all the fixed beliefs we've gathered over the years that we are less than, somehow inadequate, or simply not worthy of love, respect, or esteem. It's a lie. You are the truth. You were born with the pen of self-authorship. And until you claim that pen and start rewriting the narrative of less than and start writing greater than, listen, man, it's always been you. Do it for yourself so your relationships can prosper. Listen, my brother Danny Morrison and Robin are about to keep this fire lit. When we come forward, I am off tomorrow. I got a great topic for you Friday, so stay tuned. Woo! That shit was dumb. I appreciate that. It was a great show, y'all.
You want me to see what I have so far? Or you want me to
No, finish it. Yeah. Because we got some work to do after you get me all those topics. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the love. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for supporting. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope the show gave you some kind of insight. I hope so. None but love. Thank you. Thanks to each and every one of you. Everybody who hit the like button. Everybody who hit the super chat. Everybody who sent a couple of dollars over to Cash App. Thank you.